What's next on the docket?
Cardi B and Offset file for divorce. Did we not call this early
This is
years of the podcast?
This is one of the first 10 episodes. It's one of the first 10, the legendary 10. Man. Well,
anyways, move on. Yeah, we just brought it up just to tell you we were right.
Just tell you we were right.
Brag. It's just that's what we do.
No, but
who didn't see this coming a mile away?
Yeah.
He kept cheating. Don't know if she did or not. I mean, if she did, she was insanely sly with it and didn't get caught.
As most women usually are.
Perfect, and that's what you got to do is with cheating, don't get caught. That's the main takeaway.
Or just don't do it.
No, don't get caught. That would be crazy, Dwayne. Jeez.
Don't have morals.
God.
Weirdo.
Have sex with as many people as you can.
Just don't let your partner know.
Go home, get a nice cooked meal. Because you were spending a lot of energy. You need to replenish that shit.
You need to go back out and cheat tomorrow. I need carbs to cheat. Can't cheat on keto diets? What's wrong with you?
You can't. For real, who really thought they were going to last? I mean, I would hope because she seemed happy or whatever and they had a kid together, but yeah.
We've also said before, please don't make these celebrity couples your couples goals.
Yeah.
Because this is why. The circumstances that we look at these people through, we always try to put them for some reason in our lives.
Yeah, they just live normal 9-to-5 job lives and shit.
I'm like, no, because I guarantee you the number of first of all, the amount of time they have with each other probably isn't a lot, which is why I feel like for the most part their relationship was very public. Not one because they're both superstars, but two, they have probably huge gaps where they don't see each other. So then when they do see each other, they have to do. Basically, you have to make up time. Now you got to all the Instagram posts and do this and that. And let's have this party. And let's do this and do that. And
all work-related.
Right. And the one thing that is interesting about this situation, I feel like we can kind of harken back to a lot of these situations. I think love in big doses is dangerous. Because eventually...
Definitely is.
Yeah, eventually you overdose.
Yeah, it's that, what is that, a candle that burns twice as bright, burns for half as long. So that's something like that.
No, what the fuck you talking about?
It's okay, look, the physics of candles are right. If it burns hotter, it burns faster, right? That's what I'm saying. Something like that. Just,
okay.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is one of those, clear examples of, just because you might love someone and you love them however much you love them, if you can't have the foundation of just being a normal couple and doing normal couple things all of the time.
Yeah, if it's not sustainable.
Yeah, it's there's so many things that have to go wrong, and I feel like both people have to have an understanding. I feel like in this situation, they both, one, they're young, two, they are rich. So
and for all intents and purposes, they're on top of the fucking world in their
field or whatever, right? So, again, just following regular life rules or whatever, right? When you have a partner, whatever they say, if you're a man, usually, the woman, most of what they say is okay, but then you can have conversations on certain stuff that you disagree with, right? However, if you're Offset and I'm one of the biggest rappers in the world, I have all this money. If she says, "Hey, can you be home?" You're like, "Nah, fuck that. For what?"
Yeah.
For what? No, I'll be home later, or I'll be home tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah, but it's she would want you home now, and that's your wife, so you should at least have a conversation about it. Not just be like, "Nah."
Give a reason.
Right.
Shit, I'm way over here doing these things.
And I feel they had instances of both that. Of course, we don't know, and I'm quite sure once this divorce stuff gets public, we'll know more into it or whatever. But yeah, not to be dicks, but yeah, I don't think any of us saw that lasting.
I mean, you would hope because it seemed like she was super in love, but and then I saw some shit on Twitter. People were blaming Cardi. They're like, "Oh, she can't cook, she can't clean, so that's why she lost a man. All that WAP doesn't keep a man." Shit like that. I'm like, damn. And I saw these comments. Some of these comments are coming from women. I was just like, shit.
Yeah.
Where's that unity at?
We're gonna get to that. But let me ask you, if Cardi B is your not even wife, right? If you guys are dating, and she throws something out there, and this has been like a couple years, and she's like, "Oh, you know, when you gonna propose to me? Like, we should get married." Now, if you know for a fact that she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, right? However, this isn't Cardi B. This is.
It's just someone that looks like Cardi B, but
no, this is her, but it's just without the fame and everything. This is just the
she works a 9 to 5.
Yeah, the stripper that you met or whatever, right? Would you be okay with all those things, like all these things that she doesn't do, but you know she still wants your love and affection?
And she's asking me to marry her, like she's
or she's like. Not proposing, but posing. Like, when is this gonna happen?
To me personally, the whole cooking and cleaning thing doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. As long as there's some basic foods you could cook, kind of shit like that. I wouldn't get married, but not for that reason. Not for those reasons. It would just be like, we're having fun. Let's just keep doing this.
Right. So, your if you were going to get married, right? Your reasons have nothing to do with
cooking and cleaning. Not that's all superficial shit. Like,
right.
For me, it's about like the love you have for the person. You enjoy spending time, just you two. And I think we said this before. Just you could literally be doing nothing,
right,
in silence for hours, and it's just like, I love being here with this person.
Right.
So that's all. That's what matters to me.
So, well, now let's say Offset, like, because this happens. I'm just gonna say, women generalize men. You guys do, and
we're tired of it.
And we are. But you guys generalize men, and you just think we're like. I feel like we are very simple creatures, but I think our affection is complex, and I think women think like, oh, all you need to do is just cook, clean, and suck his dick, then he'll just love you, and it's like, no, because that might work for this guy or this guy, but you don't know this guy the same, right? So if Offset like needed those qualities of the whole I don't cook, I don't clean stuff or whatever, right? Would he be in the right to be like, this isn't gonna work, or like, I want a divorce?
No, not in that stage of it. He wouldn't be wrong if he was just like, I don't want to get married because you don't do these things. Mm-hmm. Just don't go to the extra step to do that. Be like, hey, we gotta talk about this. I need those qualities if we're gonna get married.
Okay.
But after the fact, like, you knew she didn't cook, you know she didn't clean, all that stuff, all that stereotypical. I need my woman to do this shit. So yeah, and I mean, and his cheating has been so public. It's like, I don't get how you could blame Cardi at all.
Well, see,
as far as the public image and narrative goes,
right? But then, I was trying to get into why women said what you said that was being posted online, because I'm like, one, I wasn't even thinking about that as like a reason. My jokes were like, oh, I guess that why wasn't that wet, huh? But just to bring it to that level, one, I'm just like, oh, so we go talk about this whole women empowerment thing, like, oh, you guys really believe that is like needed to like keep relationships afloat or going and everything like that, and that would confuse me if I'm trying to, you know, understand women more and understand where they're coming from. Wouldn't that be confusing? Because you want us to understand you, but then now one side we hear like, we don't need to cook and clean for you. You need to cook and clean for us. And it's like, okay, I understand. They don't.
I like cooking.
That's fine. That's fine. But then on one side, you're just like, oh, she lost that nigga because she didn't cook or clean. You supposed to cook and clean for your man. And you're like, what is going on?
That's the
I'm
thing.
confused.
I think it's like, okay, that woman that's complaining about like, oh, you didn't cook and clean, that's why he left. Mm-hmm. That woman's game is to cook and like to get to his heart through his stomach, and that's like one of those cliche lines. That's her game though, and that's why when it doesn't work out for all of them, she cling to that, be like, oh, when I do these things, I keep them. But then there's like other people that have game of just like, I don't do any of that shit and I still get it and I get what I want. Those people are just silent, I think.
Well, I don't think they are, because one, I don't think that the chick who's saying like, oh, you don't cook or clean is saying like, that's my way to keep a man. I just think she's highlighting like, oh, I go the extra mile, right?
Okay.
But I think it's the same thing when it comes to Cardi and the girls that are like that. because their version of extra mile is like, basically, whatever you want sexually or your fantasy, I'm down to fulfill it.
Right.
I give you all of that. Oh, you don't gotta worry about me like looking regular for you. I'm always gonna look like this. I'm always gonna have these boobs pushed up. I'm always gonna have this ass super fat. And I think that's them being like, this is me going extra for.
This is me cooking and cleaning for you.
Right.
Kind of shit.
So I feel like it's interesting to see this because I think that's always gonna be a war.
Oh yeah.
It's always gonna be a war.
The fight of like, what's the right way to go the extra mile for whoever.
Because I feel like there's women that feel like, nah, like all that like if you want all that extra sexy whatever stuff or whatever, I'm sexy but I ain't a hoe. And then there's women that are gonna be like, oh, I don't do all that basic whatever stuff, but if you want me to be all bad and everything, then I can do that. And I think this is gonna be very interesting to see how this like pans out because people are blaming her. I don't see how you can blame her either, but also I don't see how you can blame him because I just look at it like you're both young, and
you both knew what you were stepping into. There's no way like just because this happened, I'm gonna start being faithful and whatever.
Yeah, especially when like didn't they get engaged and then they called it off because he was cheating, and then they got back engaged, and then got
there was
married.
That secret text message that he excused his way out of.
Yeah, man. It's just like this was trouble from the start.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we called it. So like, it's never gonna last. But it seems like a passionate relationship that they both have, like, I guess, fun in for the most part.
So then they have a beautiful child and everything. I just hope that, for the child's sake, everything is amicable and, they can co-parent or whatever, even though I think she wants full custody of her daughter. So, hey. But I think that they do love each other. I just hope that they're able to work everything out and it doesn't turn messy and it doesn't turn all these, like, personal attacks on each other because I think that's corny.
Yeah. I
think that's corny from anybody. I don't care if it's celebrities or just regular dudes on the street. When you're not with your spouse anymore, I think it's very corny to then start to
talk all this shit.
Right. I'm like, you were with them. Yeah, that's stupid. But I wish them the best in that situation.